In League One, the season has already finished, which means that the playoffs are about to get underway already, which is very exciting because the playoffs are always very entertaining and nerve-wracking for the teams and the fans involved. But for neutrals, it's very exciting. So in today's video, I'm going to be previewing the playoff semi-finals in League One. Now, the table finished with Wigan as champions, then Rotherham in second place, and then MK Dons third, Sheffield Wednesday 4th, Sunderland 5th, and Wickham 6th, which of course means that MK Dons will be playing Wickham and Sheffield Wednesday will be playing Sunderland. So, I'm going to start by talking about Wickham versus MK Dons. Now, of course, there were only 6 points separating these two sides, and going into the playoffs, Wickham are actually in the better form. They are unbeaten in their last final 5 league games of the season, and actually that stretches back to 12 games. So Wickham actually are unbeaten in 12 and have significantly improved defensively, so that's a big plus for Wickham. MK Dons, on the other hand, although they finished third, in their last 5 games, they've lost 2 of them. One of them being to Sheffield Wednesday, who of course finished in the playoffs themselves. But MK Dons this season have beaten Wickham twice. Now, in terms of injuries and suspensions, there aren't any new changes from either side. I suspect that both teams will be keeping very similar teams going into the game on Thursday. And you'd have to say, despite Wickham being in the better form, I would say MK Dons are definitely favourites over the 2 legs, just because MK Dons, for most of the season, have been performing very well in a high ceiling, especially the second half of the season. MK Dons went on a massive surge in run of form and were very close to finishing second. And this tie is very interesting because it's a clash of 2 styles, significant changes and differences within styles. MK Dons, they love to keep the ball. They play with 3 centre-backs, 2 wing-backs and 2 strikers. And like I said, it's a very heavy possession-orientated side. And for Liam Manning, actually, this is his first season, complete season in charge as a manager. And he's already got the team playing this well and finishing third and playing a very attractive style of football. So Liam Manning has, for me, got to be one of the managers of the season. He's done a very good job at MK Dons. And like I said, they play a heavy-oriented possession style of football. They like to play out from the back, and they like to play the channels and get it to the wing-backs. And of course, they play with 2 strikers up front in Troy Parrott on loan from Spurs, who this is really his breakthrough season in terms of his career. He's been at previous clubs on loan, the likes of Millwall and Ipswich, but this is the first season where Troy Parrott has really hit the ground running and scored a lot of important goals. And then, of course, alongside Troy Parrott, you have Scott Twine, who, at 22 years old, is one of the brightest young EFL prospects this season. He's had a brilliant campaign for MK Dons, and it was quite a surprise when Swindon Town decided that they didn't need his services. And look at him now, thriving for MK Dons in League One, and almost certainly there'll be clubs after his bid, perhaps even if MK Dons get promoted to the Championship. So MK Dons have a couple of really good match winners in their team, and they'll be looking to dominate possession in both legs. But of course, Wickham, they don't mind not having the ball. They're very comfortable with not having the ball, staying out of possession, absorbing pressure and hitting teams on the counter-attack and utilising their strength and set pieces. So, as I said, it's going to be very interesting to see the clash of styles of play and how both teams play this. I mean, Wickham, given that they are at home in the first leg, you would suspect they have to win that game, because normally in playoff campaigns, if the team is at home in the first leg, they have to win it really, because going away from home in the second leg, if they then have to go win that, it makes it a lot harder for Wickham. And given Wickham's defensive style of football and their lack of possession, they'll really aim to win this home leg and then take something to MK Dons that they can hold on to. It's a difficult one to call, because even though MK Dons are the better team, statistically, and they will keep the ball for longer, and they're at home in the second leg, you never know with the playoffs. And if there's any team that MK Dons will find awkward, it will be Wickham, because Wickham are used to not having a lot of the ball. And, of course, 2 seasons ago, Wickham were excellent in the playoffs and got promoted via the playoffs after beating Oxford United in the final, a team who, like MK Dons, were quite heavy in terms of the possession they kept and liked to play out from the back. Having said that, because this game is over 2 legs and MK Dons are at home in the second leg, I think it'll be very difficult for Wickham to keep out MK Dons. So I'm going to predict that it's going to be a draw in the first leg, and I think MK Dons will win in the second leg. So I think MK Dons will reach the final. Having said that, I would not be surprised if Wickham won at Adams Park and then almost just parked the bus and time wasted for 90 minutes at MK Dons, because arguably Wickham are the best team in League One, if not in the EFL, at mastering the dark arts and time wasting. But I can see MK Dons going through. Then the second tie we have in the playoffs, Sunderland versus Sheffield Wednesday. Only 1 point separates these two sides and 2 goals in terms of goal difference. So they are very close in terms of league form. In terms of form going into the playoffs, Sunderland have only lost 1 in their last 15 matches since Alex Neil took charge, which is incredibly impressive, and that loss was at home to MK Dons. Meanwhile, with Sheffield Wednesday, their last 5 games, they've won 4 and only lost 1. And that 1 defeat was against Wickham, and one of those wins was against MK Dons away from home. So, going into this game, however, for both teams, there's significant injuries. Barry Bannon came off injured at home against Portsmouth. It remains to be seen whether it's a significant injury or not, but that could be potentially a massive blow for Sheffield Wednesday, because he's arguably been their player of the season, and he's so important to the way the Sheffield Wednesday team play. As for Sunderland, their striker Broadhead potentially out injured for this playoff campaign, which again is a big issue for Sunderland going forward, because at times this season they have struggled to score goals, especially against teams that sit in a low block. They've got some late goals, but as I said, they've struggled to break teams down at times. Going into this game, for me personally, I think Sheffield Wednesday are the better team, even though there's only 1 point between the two sides at the end of the season in the normal league campaign. The reason I think Sheffield Wednesday are the better team is because they started the season really badly, but since the first third of the season, Sheffield Wednesday have been in really good form and have deservedly finished in the playoffs. And you've got the likes of Lee Gregory and Barry Bannon who have hit the form right at the perfect moment. And I think it will help massively that Sheffield Wednesday are at home in the second leg. As for Sunderland, like I said, they score late goals, but they still at times struggle to create chances. And given that Sheffield Wednesday are the better team, and actually both teams play a very similar style of football and formation, so there could be a clash of styles in the sense that both teams might just cancel each other out. So I can definitely see a draw, maybe a 1-1 draw at home in Sunderland in the first leg, and then I think Sheffield Wednesday will just about sneak through in the second leg. But I think it'll be very, very close, especially considering both teams play similar formation and they might just be working each other out in the first leg. But I'm really excited to see how this campaign goes. It's very intriguing as well. You've got 2 massive teams historically in Sheffield Wednesday and Sunderland playing each other, while it's MK Dons and Wickham, a complete clash of styles playing each other in the semi-final. So I'm really looking forward to the playoffs, and hopefully it will be very interesting and entertaining. So thank you for watching this preview. I really appreciate you watching this. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you.